Morning, everybody, and welcome to this Excel tips and functions for MEP data session. Today, we are going to go over several things, and we have some files in our website that you can download to follow this. So this presentation is there already, and also the Excel file that we will be looking at. So we put the link to that in our chat. So if you want to click on that and download it, you're welcome to do that. So my name is Melissa Shala, and I am the IDRC project specialist. I'm a former Tennessee data entry specialist and recruiter. I use Excel for reports, lists, and previously I used it for CSPR, child counts, and quality control. I am not an expert, so I will try to answer all your questions and show you what I know. And if I don't know, I'll figure it out and get back to you. So who's your best friend? My best friend is Google and YouTube. As an MEP recruiter or data specialist, your job is always to learn on the go, or mostly. And these two platforms are great for figuring out how to do stuff in Excel and anything else pretty much. For this tutorial, I will assume that you know the basic skills, Excel skills. And if you're not comfortable with it, you can always go to our YouTube channel on the QR code that's there. And you can look at our tutorials. And of course, you can look at YouTube for more tutorials if you need to. This is a list of my favorite YouTube channels. Well, some of them. The first one here is Kurt Kershaw. He is awesome. Too bad he's not creating new videos anymore. So they are a little outdated, but for beginners, they're great. He teaches really well how to do basic skills. And the other ones, Easy Click Academy. Actually, I have a little screenshot of it in this slide. And the other ones are great too. There's so many. In reality, this is just a few, because when you search something, you could just search how to calculate age, and you're gonna get hundreds and hundreds of videos. So what I do is usually I search for what I want, and I click on one tutorial. If I don't like it, or I don't understand the person, I'll just move to the next one until I get somebody. And if I like how they teach or how they explain things, I just subscribe to their channel. One of the other things is that some people don't know this, but you could actually search within the channel that person has. For example, in this one, if you wanted to search how to highlight duplicates, you can type that in their search within their YouTube channel, and you would see all the results if they have anything for it. That way you don't see other people's YouTube videos. You would see only theirs. So for today's topics, we are going to talk about shortcuts, how to password protect, how to calculate age, how to remove duplicates and find them, how to compare worksheets. So those are our topics for today. And if you have any questions, just please put it in the chat, and Jessica will let me know if you have any questions. So here I created this visual of a keyboard. This is a sample keyboard, a Windows keyboard. So it's very important that you know your keyboard. Sometimes I could prefer to click the shift key, and for example, here it doesn't even say shift, but you would know that that's shift. And this, you're welcome to copy this one and use it. And your keyboard might look a little different. It might not have the numeric keypad. Sometimes they're shorter. So, but this is basically how they usually look. Any questions so far?
There was just a comment about Chat GPT that it, asking it how to do things in Excel. And so, yeah, you can definitely, Chat GPT can be a really good resource. Sometimes
Okay.
it doesn't have the answer, but
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but yes, yes. And if you guys have any other, platforms or tricks you know about, just put it in the chat so I can look into it too. Thank you. So here's a few of my favorite shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts are keys or combinations of keys that can be used to perform tasks. They can be faster than using because both hands stay on the keyboard. So that kind of helps you with the carpal tunnel. I actually don't for copy and paste and so many things I don't use the mouse anymore. I just use the shortcuts because it takes longer for me to do it on the mouse. So for example, Control plus C copies and Control V pastes. If you look at these ones, the ones that I like a lot too is, for example, Control N for new workbook. So if you're like in an Excel sheet and you want to create a new one, a blank one, you would go to File and all that. But what I do is just Control N and it just opens a new workbook. So that's very helpful for me. And you do that with Word as well. You could just open a new blank document. What other ones are great? The one that I like a lot is Control Home. So if you have a super long spreadsheet and you want to go to the first cell, you just do Control and then Home. So here, if we look at this, you would hold down the Control and the Home on the other keys, and it takes you back to the first cell. Any questions here? Okay. So we're gonna go into how to password protect a document. As we know, we need to keep our files or our students' files protected. And so this is something that you might not do at the moment, but that could be very helpful because if you use the computer at home or anywhere that other people are around, if you password protect your documents, at least you know that if your computer is open, nobody can get to them if they're closed. So let's go into it. These are the steps on how to password protect, but we're gonna do it live here.
so for those of you that want to follow along, we do have, if you look up in the chat, we have the Excel sheet that she's going to be using, and you can do the same thing with her.
Thank you. Yes, so we have this file. This is fictional data. And as our steps said, we go to File, Info. Then you go to the first option here that says Protect Workbook. You click on that. And then you go to Encrypt with Password. And you type in a password twice. And there, your file is protected. So this is the way you password to protect your files. What if you wanted to delete the password or change it? So you go back to File, Info. You click here again and encrypt with password, and you delete the password. And then your file is not protected anymore. Any questions here? Let me check out the chat here. Looks like we're good. All right. So let's go back here. So that was how to password protect a document. Now we're gonna talk about how to calculate the student's age. So for example, you received a document and it doesn't contain the age for the students. And it's a huge file and you don't want to figure it out, in your head every single row. So what we do here is use this formula that is called date diff. So this is a formula in Excel that you can use. And so I put the formula there. There's a YouTube tutorial that's really easy to follow. It's right here. If grab your phone and look at that tutorial, it's really easy to follow. And we're gonna do this live. And we're gonna use another file. Actually, I didn't put it on the files to share, but this is a really simple document. So in this document, we want to figure out the age for the student. So we have our student right here, and we have a formula right here. So what I do here is that I type in the formula. So if we don't have a formula here, right? And you can always copy the formula and just look at it and just copy it. You don't have to know this by heart every time, because I know it's hard to figure out all your formulas every time, and maybe you don't remember. Just what I do is that I have a file in my Google Drive that says formulas, and I just go there and just look at the formula in case I forgot. But for example, here we're looking at this student and we want to do the age. So we do equal date diff and then open parentheses. And then we need to select the cell that has the date of birth. So the date of birth is here. So we just select it. We enter a comma. And then we type in today for today's date. And open parentheses, close parentheses, comma. And then in quotations, Y for years, because we want to see the date in years. So then we close the parentheses again and type in enter. So when you do this on your side, you might have a problem. You might see that, for example, the date looks like this. And you say, okay, so the formula didn't work, but that's not the case. It's because here you need to set up as either general or number. So that's how you fix that problem there if you see a problem. Now, another thing that you should know is that when you're doing your formulas, you have options. When you go up here on the ribbon, you go to formulas, and under the calculation options, you can set it as automatic or manual. So if you select manual, so let's just say that this document, you want it to remain as from the date that you created it. And you don't want this date to auto-calculate every time you open the file. So what you will do is you set the calculation to manual. So this won't recalculate. So, and if I change here the date, it's not gonna change the age. So, but if I set this to automatic, the age will change. So I'm hoping that everybody's following. If you have any questions, please let me know, raise your hand. But I hope we're good with this one. All right, I'm gonna move on. And like I said, there's a tutorial that explained it probably better than I did, but this is the formula. So now we're gonna move on to how to remove duplicates. So to remove duplicates, what you wanna do is probably look at which ones are duplicates first, and then decide which ones you wanna delete. So this is actually what you do. This is the little icon here I wish it had the name, you know, but it's called remove duplicates. And this is how the little window looks like when you open it. And here's another tutorial that you can look at later. So let's go look at our file and remove duplicates. So this is our file. I'm just gonna delete this first row.
Somehow your sound is a little bit far away.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, now you're better. If you'll just, it just
Okay, maybe I wasn't speaking up.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get better from a cold. I'm sorry, everybody.
You're good.
Okay. So we have these two sheets, right? And in this sheet, we want to see which ones are duplicates or if we have any duplicates. And the first thing I will use, I didn't even put it on the slide because you would use conditional formatting. And I want to see which student IDs and M6 IDs are duplicates. So I'm going to select both columns, go to conditional formatting, highlight cells, rules, and then here under duplicate values, I'm going to select this and I want to see it in green. And this is saying that I want to see the duplicates. So I'm going to leave that and click OK. And here you see which ones are duplicates. So the way it looks right now, I want the duplicates to be together so I can look at it better. Let me make this bigger. So what I would use, I would go to sort. And I would sort, for example, my M6 IDs by cell color. And then here the cell color, I want the green ones because those are the duplicates on top. And then I want also the M6 ID to sort by smallest to largest. Let's see what we get. Okay, so now you see these two are together like they should be, so I can look at them. And all of these two. All right, so we look at the first row and we have this student, Maria Jones, that we already see a problem here, that it's Maria Jones and Jose Jones. So it might be two students, but maybe it's just that I created the wrong name there. Okay, so we have two Maria Jones, two Maria Smith Jones. Okay. And I'm just gonna delete this because it's confusing. All right, okay. So we have these two students and, well, one student. And Maria Jones, I see that it was in grade 11 and then 12. So maybe you want to only see the greatest grade and delete the oldest. So one thing that you need to know when you're using here on the data on the remove duplicates is that Excel is going to delete the first instance of the value. So it's going to delete the 11th grade, which is what I want here. But what if the 12th grade was above the 11th grade? It would delete the 11th grade row. So just make sure that your data is the way you want it to be. And you can always do that by filtering your data by the grade is largest.
There was a comment that said, it looks like those two people might be two different people, different IDs and different date of birth.
Right, here's a lot of, issues with this, but maybe we should just look at this one. It's just hard to create fake data. That makes sense. But let's look at this one, Jose Jones, right? So he was on P2 and now he's P3. So I would want to keep P3. So if we go ahead and now let's just use the remove duplicates function here, since let's just assume that the data is the way I want it, because let's just take this for example. I do want it like that. I want to keep the P3 value here, the first row, and I want this deleted. So what I do is that I go to, well, I select all my data, Control A, go to Data ribbon, and then go to the Remove Duplicates. So here you get the little window that I was showing you on the PowerPoint. And so you can unselect or select all. So if you select all, it's not going to delete anything. So I'm going to unselect and I'm going to look at this M6 ID because I want to delete the duplicates that have a duplicate M6 ID. Okay. So I'm going to click OK. And it found five duplicate values and kept 70 unique values. And so here it is. It kept my P3 Jose Jones. Any questions here? I'll give it a second to see. I'll look at the chat. I don't see any questions. Okay. So that's the way you remove duplicates, or you could do it by hand, of course. But when you have a large amount of data, you might not want to go row by row, deleting everything. And like I said, there's a tutorial here if you want to go look at that. So now we're going to talk about how to compare worksheets. So we will use the X lookup function. So the predecessor to this was VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, but this is way better. XLOOKUP, I use it every day and for a lot of things. And in this example, we're looking at the student ID between two sheets. And the formulas here, and like I said, you can always have your formula. Well, this one's pretty easy because it's just, equal X lookup and just select your cells and your columns. But here you can see, if you didn't know, you can always look at your formula here on the formula bar, and you'll see what you got. And here's another tutorial on how to compare worksheets with XLOOKUP. So let's jump into our Excel document. So we have January's list and we have February's list. So here, and let me get these back and remove the conditional formatting. This is how you remove the conditional formatting. There you go. So for this example, I want to look at all the M6 IDs that are on my February list. So what I will do here, I think I'm just gonna add another column. And just say M6 IDs not in February. So the formula starts with equals X lookup, open parentheses, and then I have to select the cell. So I'm looking for this M6 ID, comma. Then I go to my February list, select the column that has the M6 IDs. select it. Then put another comma. And now what do I want to see if it's there? Well, I want to see the M6 ID. So I select the M6 ID again and click enter. So for this one, it looks like it is there. It is on my February. Well, I should have put in February's list here. Okay. So this one is in February's list. So how do you copy this down, this formula down? What you do is that you move your mouse until you see the black plus sign and double click real quick. And there you go. So here's all the IDs that are in February's list, but this one is no longer there. So maybe the student is not eligible anymore or he was removed for some reason. So this is the way you would easily see which ones are not there. Any questions so far? Let me check the chat. Oh my God, this makes my ridiculous index match process obsolete. It's a new day. Yes, I love XLOOKUP. I use it for everything. It's wonderful. And you can even search sideways. So you can search rows. And you don't have to be on the first, because with VLOOKUP, you have to be on the first column and all these rules. This is easy, easy peasy. I have a question here. How can I order the columns by grade? So let's look at this. So I'm gonna go here and I can do several things. I'm gonna put in my filters. So by grade, you can click here on the arrow and you can sort smallest to largest or sort largest to smallest. So let's do sort smallest to largest. So here you go. First, second, third, fourth. So this is how you would do it. Or you could go to sort and select grade, cell values, and it's already there. But if it wasn't there, you can add it. So we have the H grade. Where's my grade? Grade, smallest to largest. And it would do the same thing. There's another question as well. Do you have a cheat sheet that you can share of formulas? Sure. Let me show you real quick mine. It's a little rough, but that's what I use. Hold on a second. Let me put that up here.
Your sound's going away again. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna show my formulas here. And you could do something similar to this. Here, formulas. Okay. So trim formula, age calculation, today's formula, how to remove last two digits. So, and I even put like the YouTube. I need to put more here, but convert M6 dates to regular dates. This one is a good one because this is the formula when you see the M6 date that they put it 2024, the day and then the month. I'm sure you've seen that. This is the formula to, put it as 3/22, 2024. So this is what I would do. So I always have it on here, my Excel basics and formulas. So this is what I do. Let me see if there's any more questions.
I'm going to drop one in the chat box. That's a weird AI one that you kind of tell them with a function that you're looking for. And then, so you guys can test that one out.
Okay. There's a comment. Those look like two different people. Okay, that's the old one. All right. So where was I? Okay, so let's go back to once you see that you have some M6 IDs that are not there on your February list. What if you want to isolate them? Well, you can always, I have my filter here and I have here under my quick access toolbar, I just have my functions here. I don't go and look for them. I just want it easy here for me to use. So that's another tip. Just put it right there so you don't have to go look for them. So like freezing the top row. Anyways, I'm going in another direction now. So if you want to look at all the ones that are not there, I would just simply go here on the arrow, deselect these, and look for NA, click OK, and you would see which students are not on the February list. Any questions here? So this is what I use every day for pretty much a lot of things. Another quick tip that I can show with you, and this is a little, because we do have a little time, I'll show you how I use this a lot too when I'm creating the list for H2A and B, because sometimes I don't put the county. So let me just jump into that. I can just create here something new and I can put, oh, here's a question. Can you show how you autosave again? Autosave, autosave. What do you mean autosave this? The document, the Excel document? I'm not quite sure if I get the question.
Myrna, if you want to add more information, if that helped you right there, your shortcut. Yeah.
Freeze row. Oh, yeah. Here, so let's say that if you're in data, for example, we were just talking about the data tools, and you want to add the remove duplicates to your quick quick access toolbar. You right click and you add to quick access toolbar, and there you have it. And you can do that with any of these, and you can remove them too. All right, so let me just show you. No problem. Thank you for the question. So I have this other document that it's all of my zip codes. And let me open it for you. All right, so this is a document that I downloaded from the US. It's all the USPS zip codes and counties and everything. So let's say that you have all of these zip codes in a list, and this is gonna be my list, rough, but it is. And you want to know the counties. So what do? Well, you use X lookup. X lookup, open parentheses, look for this zip code, comma, go to your other spreadsheet, look for the zip code and the zip codes, comma, then select the county column, enter. So your county is right there and you can drag it down.
You're gonna have to talk loud again. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Something
Yes.
about your headphones where when you move or something, just.
Oh, okay. So I hope everybody got it. Well, let me do it again. Let's see.
There's a question. Where did you get the zip code spreadsheet?
Oh, it's hold on a second because I downloaded it a while back.
You're far again.
Okay. Let me try something. Let me try something.
Okay.
Maybe this will help.
Does your brain break, everybody, for
Oh, I'm sorry. Does it sound a little better?
Yeah, that's better. Yes.
Okay. You know, I had that little thing that it helps you that kind of helps if there's noise around you, but I just have the fan on.
Okay.
Um,
Just talk
so,
loud.
okay. All right. So if you Google zip code codes, let me see if it's here. I'm trying to find it real quick. I was not ready for that question. So there is the zip code.
The US, the Postal Service has one. I'll drop one in right now that has the
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the one that I use, but
yeah.
it might be here. Let me drop this in there.
You got it, Nancy. Or yeah.
Oh, okay. You guys got it. Okay. Yeah, so that's but basically what I wanted to show is that with your formula, with XLOOKUP, you could do anything. So, and you could do it in between workbooks. So you select the zip code, comma, then you go to your list, you select the column, comma, then you select the county. That's what you wanted to return, enter. And then to drag the formula, you just double click or you drag it down, and there you have it. Another quick tip is that, for example, what happens when you delete these? Well, then everything goes away. So you can always copy these, copy, and paste values. And then it doesn't have the formula. So this has a formula, this is just a value. So I recommend you do that so you don't lose everything if you delete the zip code for something. Any questions?
I just want to do a sound check. Is everybody else hearing pretty good? You'll put in the chat box. It may just be me, but
Oh,
you still
try to
sound
speak
far.
loud.
Yeah, it's coming in and out. It sounds distant.
Oh, okay.
They are understanding, which is good. But
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not sure why it's not working correctly. Let me try something else.
it's a question. Have you found a good lookup tool that returns county school district for a zip code? I'm just being greedy, but curious. So we'll put that question out to everybody. Has anyone have a county school district zip code finder that you know of? Google.
Well, can you hear me now?
Yeah, now you're like great.
Yeah, I guess my headphones are going in the trash.
You sound like you're in the room with us now.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So, yeah, if you give me a second, I can always look for that zip code. I know I have it saved. Meanwhile, I would like more questions. If you have any questions about what I just did, um, let me see. I can share with you mine. It's kind of funky, but I mean, I'm willing to share. This one's actually for Virginia. See, I have the one that has all of them, all the states. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Let me. So this one has all the states, but I also did separate ones because, for example, if I can find Virginia, Virginia, here, Virginia has independent cities. So I did create it. So it says independent city. So I can share mine. And let me just do that real quick. Jessica, if
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
out just a second. Let me see. I'm gonna save a copy for you guys. And let me know if there's more questions, Jessica, please.
Will do. I just found one for Texas that has the schools, the zip code, and the, so that, I mean, you guys, Google is your friend. You can look around and see what you can find.
Yeah, and I would have had this prepared, but I didn't know I was gonna share that with you guys, but I did, so that's why I didn't have it ready. Let me see, SQL database. I'm gonna put IDRC. Let me see if I can stop sharing. And I should be able to attach a file, right, Jessica?
Yeah, you
Somewhere
can just
here.
drop it in there.
And I do that. Can I just drag it and drop it? Is that what you're saying?
So if you look over on the, where it says to everyone in the chat box, and then it looks like a little paper. Like
Oh, on
one
the chat
corner.
box. Okay.
Yeah,
Got
just
I
click it.
got you. Yeah. Okay. My computer. There it is. Oh, okay. Okay, it's loading. Oh, hold on a second. I think I didn't send it to everybody.
I think it's in there now. It's to host and panelists, so all.
Yeah, I just sent it to everyone.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So there's that. Were there any other questions here that I didn't see?
No, somebody posted the, or Myra posted the greatschools.org website, which is a good resource under there. And I don't think there's been any more questions.
Okay. All right, so let me show my screen again. So, and like I mentioned, please look at the tutorials. The YouTube tutorials are really good. And so if there's no more questions. Okay, could you share the presentation with the YouTube video links? The presentation, it's already there. It's got the QR codes. It doesn't have the links. But if you just point your camera into it, you can always go to the link. Could you share the Excel sheet?
I just dropped the presentation in there.
Hi, Stephanie. Could you share the? I remember going out recruiting with you. Could you share the Excel sheet with the formulas and links, please? The Excel sheet, it's already there. It doesn't have the formulas in there, but you could go into and put in the formulas. Do you want to drop in the link to our website, Jessica?
Yeah,
Where
I
all
can
the
do that.
files are at? Let me see. And here's our little QR code for our evaluation. Please always, contact me if you and I'm gonna share my contact information, but I'll give you another second to scan the QR code and evaluate us.
And
Sorry about this, Cal.
we'll send an email out to everybody also with the evaluation of overall for the whole data summit.
Oh, okay, okay.
And in
So-
that, you guys, if you have specifics in the future for what you want us to cover in Excel too, you can definitely put those comments in there.
Yeah, but the golden ticket effects lookup, I think it's just so helpful. And please feel free to contact me if you have any more questions. You know, I can help you out. And remember, your best friend is YouTube and Google. Thank you very much for everything and for your time. And I think that's all the time we have, right? Almost.
The next, let me see if I'm still muted. The next session will start, I think, at 12 Central Time, so in about 45 minutes. So we're going to be covering Connect Team on the next two sessions for the rest of the Data Summit. So it is a free resource for states if you have under 10 accounts, and it's totally free for all IDRC states. So if you want to learn about that, join us for the next two sessions. If not, we appreciate your time that you've joined us now, and thank you, Melissa, for putting the information together. So take care, everybody.